I left my notes. I left my notes down there about you, Sharon. So I'm just going to have to make it up. Yes, I've known Sharon for a long time, and I am extremely proud that she is our new mayor. What's wonderful about Sharon is that she comes so prepared that she started work the day before. She was deputy mayor and has come to our conferences almost every single year. The city of Syracuse is a very difficult city, as you know. There are all sorts of problems, and the fact that Sharon has taken environmental issues so made them so important to the city of Syracuse is really, really exciting. I wish every mayor took as seriously the environmental concerns, because there are so many other concerns as well. Sharon is a trailblazer in many, many ways, and she was a trailblazer becoming mayor, and she's a dear friend, and I know that you're going to get a tremendous amount out of her, and we are really looking forward to her presentation today, because if we do have another one, I always say retirement has to come sometime, but if we do have another one next year, we're going to ask you your progress, so you better keep a list of what you're saying now, because we're going to hold your feet to the fire. With that, Sharon. It's the same.
Good morning. It's a pleasure seeing you all. For those of you who are not from Syracuse, welcome. You have come to a city that is moving in progress. Yes, we have, just like any other cities, issues around poverty and issues around violence, but I top that with just this moment of extreme hope and progress. And I, for one, am here for every moment of it. I want to thank my team. If you're here from the city of Syracuse, can you guys wave your hand? We have several people here. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for coming. So this is an opportunity, and Maria asked you to come. You come, and you engage, and she is a dear friend that keeps me informed. And I've heard that story before. I love that story, and yes, I am listening, and so is the city of Syracuse. It is not only a moral imperative for us to understand our earth and our responsibility to it, but it's an economic necessity. I'm right now preparing, we've prepared and submitted our budget to our city council. The energy predictions for us are 42% increases. It's major. And so to be able to operate any municipality and understand the highs and lows of the changing climate in our community and effects on our budget, you're not doing your job if you are not looking at that closely. So we've been spoiled the last 5 winters. Well, winter said hello and showed up in her frenzy this winter, and we paid for it, literally, in our budget. For every time we had to gas up, no electric trucks yet, but gas up our trucks, fuel costs going up. We're realizing the impact of climate change on everyday life. And I like to tell residents of our community our predictions on our energy increases, because I want them to know that we feel what you feel in your pockets with your energy increases. And it is affecting all of us. So I'm so happy to be here to just speak to just this room of experts in this area, particularly at this time in the city as we are finalizing our inaugural climate action plan. First time. Thank you. And it's a process that we're looking for public input on, to take a look at the plan. Here is an amazing room full of experts in this area. If you go to our city website, www.syr.gov, in that little search bar, we use search bars for everything now, and type in Sustainable Syracuse Initiative, you'll come to the homepage. We invite your input. The window is going to close pretty quickly, April 21st. It's been up there for a little while. If you haven't gone there, please take time. We really, really look forward to your input as we are finalizing that plan for the city of Syracuse. So as we're talking about Syracuse and working and what we're doing, we are really pleased to be in partnership with Energy Smart CNY. So we're providing solar credits on energy bills for our community. I am very proud of the fact that I was able to convince my husband to sign us up, who is a skeptic of everything. And so for those of us always in the weeds of government, we have to have a spouse or a significant other or someone who can be the practical voice for us. So many times I was like, what do you think about this, Sharon? And he was like, that's a stupid idea, Sharon. Okay. So definitely we've signed up. We had hoped that we would get 500 registrants. We have 2,000. And so yes. And it's allocating about 1.7 gigawatts of energy towards solar-generated sources in our community. And so we are hoping to bring on more solar farm partners so we can increase the registration, because right out of the gate, I think it may have been 2 weeks and we had reached that 2,000 registrant purpose. Solar energy, and I talked to Rhea and I talked to other folks in this industry. This is an amazing opportunity for individuals who, when we talk about solar panels, particularly for residential, and people who would like to really use solar panels for their energy source, it economically may not be practical for them. It's hard to install solar panels on a roof when your roof needs fixing. Right? So here is I would love to delve into electronic cars, but they still are a little expensive. And so as the industry evolves and really expands itself, it is critical that it also becomes economical for everyday folks who would like to venture into hybrid and electronic cars. After the pandemic, I looked at my first electronic car and I was like, I cannot afford that. But I would love to have done it. And so as we continue to evolve in the industry, that is critical to us. Another way in the city about 2 years ago that we ventured into this is we followed suit of many of our suburban neighbors, and we started to change how we collected and disposed of trash. And we began a citywide trash collection and recycling program. And you thought I would have, I know, invented penicillin or something, but again, it's behavioral change. We are creatures of habit. And I have friends and family who came to me and said, oh my goodness, that 90-gallon trash can is not big enough. 90 gallons. And so I finally would say to my friends and my family, do you recycle? Crickets. It would stop the conversation. And again, my husband is he's a test rabbit. And I was very, very concerned that the Owens family would get a ticket of noncompliance. Because I don't take out trash. I'm not a diva, but I don't take out trash. But they did very well. They really began to, and they are the recycle police in my house. That doesn't go in the recycle, Sharon. And I move it, and our family's behavior changed. because we were given the opportunity, the resources, and the education. The opportunity, the resources, and the education to make a change in how we behaved to help our earth and our community. And now I'm so glad because I don't have trash bags all over the city that animals rip through, but we have a cleaner city. Now I have to stop the illegal dumpers who dump tires all over our city. So the other, for those of you who traveled here, saw all the traffic changes. Yeah. A friend of mine, I was on the phone on my way somewhere. He was on the phone on the way somewhere, and I was talking to someone, and they were saying, yeah, it takes me 8 minutes to get everywhere I need to go. But that's what we believe, because that's what we've been used to in Syracuse, is that, yeah, I could get somewhere that really should take, in my head, I can get there in 10 minutes. It's an adjustment. We're creatures of habit. But I tell you, inconvenience for a little while is worth saving the people who have been breathing exhaust from I-81 for decades. COPD rates in the community along Almond Street exceed rates in many parts of this nation because they were breathing literally a stone's throw traffic fumes from industrial vehicles for years, for generations. Grandmothers, mothers, children with lung and breathing issues. So I, for one, will be inconvenienced for some months while that construction goes on so that we can right an environmental and economic wrong that was imposed upon some of us for the convenience of some of us. And so as that construction continues, particularly right just down the hill from us right now, it will remove that highway and take that highway down and change what vehicles travel the closest to the most vulnerable of our community. And this campus full of educational prowess and power, environmental knowledge, we have a beacon of pollution just down the hill. And we're changing that. And Syracuse is leading the way in converting the wrongs of that type of industry development in our interstate highway system that identified those highways in the most vulnerable and poorest communities across this country. And Syracuse is leading the way and changing that wrong environmentally, economically, and morally. This is a conversation of what is just right. Sometimes it's, we make this thing too complicated. It's just about doing what's right. Have a great day.